In Lebanon, some stones have been placed on the structure of a temple that leave the human mind astonished. Each stone weighs as much as 3 blue whales, and amazingly, they were not only skillfully cut in one piece but also transported from 1.5 kilometers away. That too, thousands of years ago. But the mystery is that to this day, there has been no civilization of humans. Is there any civilization in history known for cutting such large stones that had knowledge we do not possess today? For the examination of these stones, a team of German archaeologists started excavations at the quarry from where these stones were brought. Even today, there is an incomplete stone there which is said to weigh 1200 tons, approximately equivalent to 4 Boeing 747. After excavating here, archaeologists found some evidence underground that is quite hard to believe. In Lebanon, there is a city named Baalbek, where people from all over the world come to see some ruins of the Roman Empire. The interesting thing is that these ruins, visible from above, were made in the Roman Empire era, but underneath, archaeologists, some evidence has been found that has no connection with the Roman Empire, at least not yet. There is a temple here built by the ancient Romans called the Temple of Jupiter. This temple is still considered the highest example of Roman Empire architecture and their skill, but below the construction of this temple, a foundation of very large stones was found. It was initially understood that small rocks have been expertly joined so that they appear as one, but after conducting various tests, it was confirmed that it is nothing else but a giant stone. This stone, later named trilithons, is each 62 feet long, 14 feet high and 12 feet thick. Amazingly, just one stone weighs 900 tons. Cutting such a large stone into an accurate block and lifting it up 30 feet was perhaps done for the first time in human history. If you want to estimate the size and weight of these stones, each stone is 900,000 kilograms, that is 1.5 times heavier than the world's heaviest aircraft, Antonov and Tu-25 Maria, and 10 times larger than the biggest stones used in the construction of the Pyramid of Giza. Due to their large size, the stones were somehow transported from the quarry, which is about 1.5 kilometers away, and then placed on top of the 400-ton blocks of the Heliopolis complex, upon which the walls of the complex were later erected using smaller blocks. The accuracy with which these stones were cut and fitted is truly quite extraordinary, especially for that era when even imagining modern machinery was difficult, because there is not even the distance of a paper between them. If you look at Roman structures, their focus was on beauty. They wanted to showcase their construction skills to the world. But on the contrary, the trilithons was placed here not for display, but for burial, because this part of the foundation was previously buried underground. After seeing this, a question arises in the mind. If a civilization accomplishes such a great feat van Conspots Bastopos, then why would she hide it? Ancient Romans, known for keeping records of every skill, why is there no mention in Roman documents about bringing Angzon from the mine and lifting it? This indicates that the construction of this site was not completely done by the ancient Romans, rather they built their temple on an already existing foundation. Besides, according to historians, the Romans had all the largest crane available could only lift 60 tons, making it extremely unlikely that it could lift the 900-ton stone. And the Romans would make a specially shaped hole in the stones they lifted with cranes, called a Lewis hole, but we do not find any such holes in the trilithons. If there is any record of the Romans' common engineering techniques for cutting trilithons, if there is no record of bringing and handling it to this point, Then who carried out this task with such expertise? Who originally built the foundation of the Temple of Jupiter? The other stones of the Temple of Jupiter are fitted with finishing, while the trilithons are not finished, and the effects of wind and sand erosion are clearly visible on them. It's as if they had been lying here for thousands of years. Many historians believe that all of these things were put there up for kitty, considering these are not from the Roman Empire era but are 12,000 years old, meaning 10,000 years before the Roman Empire. The work that is considered impossible in today's modern era, which civilization did it at that time and how? This is a mystery about which archaeologists have not been able to say anything yet. In Baalbek, it is not only these trilithons that are baffling the human mind. In the compound of the Temple of Jupiter, such large stones can be seen in several places. See this 800-ton stone next to the stairs. Even moving it is no trivial matter. After that, we come to the south wall, where countless blocks ranging from 400 to 800 tons are found. Some are above ground while many are below, but no one knows how deep they are in the ground. In between, the fitting has been done very neatly, and the line on the border is smaller than 1 millimeter. After seeing this, the work seems even more complex. There are some strange marks on the surfaces of these stones, similar to those made by modern mining machinery. The length of these marks is approximately 10 feet, and they are completely parallel to each other. When we talk about ancient tools, there is none of them like this. No tool is recorded by historians that could make such marks. Similar tool marks have been seen on stones at the Yangshan quarry in China. Here there is a block weighing 16,000 tons, which has the same kind of marks as those on the stones of Baalbek. Similar marks have also been observed in the ancient city of Petra in Jordan, where this city has been carved out of mountain stones. It was made at least 2,300 years ago. In comparison, these markings are just like modern machinery, meaning that even in ancient times there was technology that could cut stones like modern machinery. But obviously, historians don't have any solid evidence for this yet. Now let's come to the quarry from where these Baalbek stones were actually brought, which includes the trilithons, Baalbek quarry. It is about 1.5 kilometers from the Temple of Jupiter and is a limestone quarry. Some half-cut stones are still present here. This is more surprising because they are the largest stones placed in the Temple of Jupiter and the complex. This half-cut stone in the quarry is known as the pregnant woman. There are several stories about how it got this name. 68 feet long, 14 feet high, and according to the thickness of the 14th layer, its weight is calculated to be 1,200 tons. This stone rests on one angle while its lower part is still attached to the quarry stone. Those who cut it into this shape did not get a chance to separate its lower part, and perhaps they had to abandon this work midway. Otherwise, we might have seen this stone at the Temple of Jupiter site today. The same style of marks is still present at the bottom today that were seen on other stones of the Temple of Jupiter. A model of the pregnant woman stone has been placed in the Jungfrau Park in Switzerland, surrounded by models of some modern cranes. The purpose of showing it is simply to demonstrate that if the pregnant woman stone had to be lifted in today's era, then cranes would. Only 20 cranes can manage this task, but only when around the stone. Soti Tati Deiti Pati. Earlier, the pregnant woman stone was half buried in the ground. But in 2014, a team of archaeologists conducted an excavation here and discovered that it was separate from the quarry underground too. Only the bottom of this block is still attached to the quarry today. This means that due to lying like this for thousands of years, layers of soil had sunk it into the ground. Scientists believe that the layers of soil only about 1 inch accumulates over 80 to 100 years. In all pictures of the pregnant woman stone, it is seen to be almost 10 feet sunk in, meaning 120 inches. So, if 1 inch is equivalent to 80 years, it would take 9,600 years to accumulate 120 inches, approximately 10,000 years. People in the Stone Age were capable of performing such challenging tasks. It is quite difficult to think and understand. In 2014, when excavations were done for this stone, another surprising thing came to light, another hidden stone. This stone is sunk into the ground right next to the pregnant woman's stone and is estimated to weigh 1,650 tons. Known as the Forgotten Stone, it is the largest stone block excavated from any quarry in the world. It's just the part of the block that's visible on the surface. How deep it goes inside the air and what's hidden there, nothing can be said about that at the moment. This stone is a mystery for today's scientists, including engineers and archaeologists, because the methods used to cut, transport and place them exactly are unknown to any famous ancient civilization, or even for today's builders, it doesn't seem possible. Besides, the journey from the quarry to Baalbek is not only uphill due to the mountain, but also quite rough. There is also no evidence that in ancient times a direct path was made for transporting these stones to make dragging them easier. How these heavy stones were lifted with such precision after being transported to the Baalbek site. Even if it is accepted that the ancient builders used a pulley system, there are no marks on the stones indicating the use of such a pulley system. These gigantic stones of Baalbek hint at an ancient civilization, a time when the height of humans was quite large and their bodies were as powerful as giants. In various religious books such as the Bible, the Quran and Hindu scriptures also, it mentions people who were quite tall and powerful, possessing abilities similar to superhumans in fiction movies. In different books, they have been given different names, as in the Bible they are called Nephilim. Somewhere their height is said to be 450 feet and somewhere up to 100 feet. For these civilizations, lifting the stones of Baalbek was probably not so difficult. See you in the next amazing video.